Welcome back, everyone, to the world of Delicious and Deadly. Last we left off, our party of adventurers met an interesting little druid named Three Flower, who told his story of their grove under attack by a mysterious fey beast that has the power to burn creatures and decimates things in the sunlight, as one of his fellow druids was marked by the beast and burnt to a crisp, but is barely hanging on. The group made their start to journey to the Druid Grove known as Springarden, and it takes some time. As you're walking, Taurus, in your backpack, you feel maybe like leaning out of your backpack, because I remember you said you were carrying him. You feel Ranger Truffle begin to rouse from a very deep sleep.
Ranger Truffle, you're awake. I thought you were dead, not gonna lie.
He just kind of gets up dreary-eyed and doing a big stretch.
How long is the 24-hour naps a normal thing for your kind?
No, that was a great power nap, though.
Yeah,
had some weird dreams, but it was great.
Well, you missed all the fun parts. We went to a really cool market.
That sounds very fun, yep.
It was very fun, Ranger Truffle. I'm sad you missed it.
Well,
but that's okay.
Next shopping trip. But we're back out of nature, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
You look down from Taurus's backpack, where you have been stuffed into, kind of like half your body's in the backpack. Your legs are in the pack, and the rest of you are just like on Taurus's shoulders. Is how I'm picturing this scene. And you look down and you see the druid Three Flower, who I will share with everyone once more. There's little Three Flower. And you see him, and he looks up at you, Truffle, and he goes, "Oh, you there. Looks like you're finally awake, huh? We're just crossing the border into Springarden."
I'm just waiting for the Skyrim references.
Mm-hmm.
Into Tree Garden.
Oh, what was that?
We're headed to Tree Garden?
Oh,
is that what you said?
Springarden, yes.
Springarden.
We aren't there long. It's good to see you finally awake.
Yeah, I'm not doing much guiding this trip, I guess, but, Truffle will hop down, do some quick stretches, and try to catch up and walk alongside everyone.
Okay. You begin walking alongside everyone. It doesn't take long to get to the Springarden, and by long I mean it doesn't take you the entirety of the day. You're maybe an hour and a half through the great woods before you begin noticing changes. Actually, Taurus and Truffle, could you give me perceptions, please?
Yes, sir.
So Truffle, you're able to notice it more than the others. I imagine Seidel is just talking Three Flower's ear off, and Baka's just doing Baka things. But you, Truffle, notice as you're walking through the Great Woods, which you've been, around many a times. You're a ranger. You've given people tours. The surrounding trees and plant life go from, vibrant greens to almost immediate cutoff, where the trees go from these vibrant, like summer colors to more spring-like tones, and what were once these large, like redwood trees are now redwood cherry blossoms, and like pinkish and purplish colors dot the land as you cross this seemingly invisible border, as nature around you becomes more vibrant.
Have I been this way before? This is brand new territory.
Give me a history.
Ooh, high roll.
Maybe you've visited Springarden before. Maybe you've actually visited for the Fey Festival before. But Springarden itself is definitely... It is a secluded place, which you've noticed actually in how Three Flower is bringing you to Springarden. He's taking very deliberate paths, which seem off the beaten path almost. Despite, nature being so vibrant, Springarden is not a place one would usually take tours through. So it's likely you've been here before, but I wouldn't say you're familiar.
Okay.
It's not a major part of the Great Forest, is what I'm getting.
Well, it sure is pretty here. Just say, taking a look around.
Oh yes, thanks to our communion with the Feywild, Springarden is, it is spring all year round. You have these colors blossoming every single day. It is a very beautiful time if it weren't for the tragedies that have struck us. He kind of becomes a bit dejected and begins looking at the ground as he walks.
Right, the tragedies that I, in character, completely remember.
Mm-hmm. The creature that has broken through the Feywild and has attacked the Grove.
Yes. Like I said, horrific tragedy. Yep.
Yeah. You did sleep through it.
Yeah. It came to me in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get looking around. Is how much further until we're like in the proper of it? Like, do we see anything nearby that tells us, like...
You do, actually. As you begin walking, you begin to see an opening and a flowing river through a cascade of what looks to be tents and stalls, as you eventually come through this opening and you see a like a wooden arch ahead that opens up into this great staircase that leads to a temple. And I will take you to the Springarden, where before you, all the way down here, you can see that there are a grouping of civilians at the staircase below. If you want to give me insight checks, the two of you.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. 18. These civilians and the commoners who are here seem to be looking a state of agitation and upset, as you can see 3 druids at the top of the stairs, like with their hands out, trying to placate the group. And Three Flower turns and looks at you all and says, "Oh, this isn't good. If you wouldn't excuse me, I have to go help my fellow druids. I'm sure there's a place for you to put down your gear if you wish, but I need to go." And he kind of scurries off.
Okay.
Well, I think we might should we go over and see what's up, or
Yeah.
you guys gotta
Well,
unpack first?
well, how about Seidel and Baka? You guys stay with Bart and find somewhere to put our equipment, and me and Ranger Ruffle can go to the crowd and see what's up.
Seidel does indeed say, yes, I will look through our gear. And he kind of shuffles off to the side, and Bart follows and puts down the crate.
And you two, I don't want you here. Get out of here.
I guess we'll go follow Three Flower.
Okay.
Hurry up, Ranger Truffle.
Where's my token? There we are.
Three Flower rushes up behind the group and begins saying, "Oh, excuse me all. What's the problem?" And a group, some of the people look behind and say, we were promised a festival. I brought my children, and now these druids are saying we cannot enter. What is this?" Three Flower says in response, don't you worry. We're just preparing the garden for you all. If you excuse me, and he begins kind of shuffling through them. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. He begins shuffling up the stairs.
How many children are in this crowd?
There's maybe a group of, there's a couple families, maybe 4 or 5 children. And the one who was just talking to you, or talking to Three Flower, looks at you two approaching and says, if you're here for the festival, good luck. The druids aren't letting anyone in. And they hold out a flyer and show it to you.
Well, I would love to read that.
Okay, you get the flyer.
Why would they festival and not let anyone in just because of some monster? That's what we're Ranger Truffle.
This is what you see. The Fey Fest, Springarden, celebrate the mischievous Fey with an all-inclusive spa day. 5 gold per entry.
Ooh, 5 gold, damn.
Wow, it's quite the expensive day you guys got planned.
Yes, which is why we were hoping that it would be open this year, but apparently not so.
Is this an old flyer? You say it like you weren't expecting it to be closed.
Well, they send these flyers out a couple of weeks in advance.
Why did
how about this? We can go talk to the druids and figure out what the delay is for you, okay?
Please do. We've paid good money for this, and it'd be a shame to have our children leave disappointed. It is for them,
Of course. Only for them. No one else wants a spot. Nobody else.
The children are going to love the spa day. They always do.
I was saying that out loud as I walked by.
One of the parents, a dad says, "Oh yes, well, we send them to the garden while we parents spend the spa to ourselves. It's a good way to tuck them out, and for them to learn about nature."
Of course. Wait, from what I remember, is Three Flower a druid too?
He is one of the druid monks of Springarden.
Okay, gotcha. Well then I'm just gonna go up to Three Flower and just hear what's up, and hopefully he'll vouch for me.
He looks at the other druids and says, and he sees you approaching behind him and says, hello, fellow brothers and sisters. These are some adventurers who I have asked to help us with our problem in the garden. Hopefully, this is Taurus. I believe you said it was. He looks at you.
Yeah.
He turns around, and despite you being on lower steps, he still has to look up to you.
Yes, it's Taurus.
And this is, and he looks back at Ranger Truffle further down the stairs and says, "Oh, this is a Ranger of the Woods. Ranger Truffle, is it right? I hope I got that right."
At your service. Yep.
They're here to help. And one of the druids says, You notice that they're actually surprisingly welcoming. You know, the Springarden is open to everyone. They aren't, strangers to people. And so the druid says, well, if you can help us, that would be most welcome. It would be a shame to cancel our festival, as you have heard. 3 Flower looks at the druid and says, "Oh, do you have any word on Pyrax? How has he been?" And the druid in return says, and this is where I'm going to have to ask a question. Guest player, how do you pronounce your character's name, please?
Her first name is Blaha.
Okay, so the druid in return says, "Oh yes, we have had Sister Blaha check in on Pyrax while you have been gone. She should be around here somewhere. Sister, are you here?" Turns around. Begins walking into the temple.
A small, fairy with, long black hair, very pale skin. A very black dress that just seems to kind of sparkle like the night sky. Comes down from where this monkey is perched from the tree and, flies down to everyone. Hello.
Oh, hello, Sister Blaha. How is Pyrax doing? And you would know that Pyrax is a lizardfolk druid who recently attempted to take into hands himself dealing with this Fey creature that has come into the grove. But in response, Pyrax was badly scorched by the creature, and while 3 Flower was away trying to seek help, you have been in charge of taking care of him and healing him. But one of the things you've noted is that no matter what medicines, at least that are currently available, you have given him, have not healed his wounds.
Well, it seems that he's not doing the greatest. I feel that possibly it has something to do with this creature. I don't know, maybe if we find it, we could find a way to, cure his wounds. But it looks grim right now.
This is not good to hear at all. Oh, would hate to. Oh no. Friends! 3 Flower shouts down the stairs.
Oh. Yeah?
Would you all mind joining me up here for a little talk, please? And he begins walking towards one of the balconies, off to the side.
Excuse me. Yep, passing through.
Just passing by.
Yep, don't mind me. What is it, 3?
And
What's going on?
he also invites you to join as well, Blaha, as you are the caretaker currently for Pyrax. Three Flower speaks to you all and says, "Oh, you remember how I spoke to you about a fellow druid in the Grove who tried to take matters in his own hands and ended up worse for wears?"
Sure, yeah.
"Oh, well, you see, my fellow sister druid here," and he points to the fairy, Blaha, has been taking care of him while I've been gone, and she says it is not a good sight. Of course we have to... I did bring you here to take care of this beast, but I hope it wouldn't be burden if you would join me on helping me aiding Pyrax and bringing him back to health. I hate that it has had to resort to this, but I would need your help in this task."
Okay.
Yeah, we can see what we can do. Not really a healer, but we can try.
Yeah. Do you know, like, herbs and stuff? I mean, I'm sure the druids know herbs. I don't know why I'm asking. But Ranger Truffle, would you know any special mushrooms to give them or something?
I've had to throw together a poultice or two, but nothing I don't think the druids can't handle.
Yeah, okay.
You see, I've heard that normal medicines have not been healing poor Pyrax, and I hate to resort to this as we are in limited supply. Sister Blaha, what do you think about the possibility that the Moonglow plant could help Brother Pyrax? And if you want, you can give me a nature.
Okay.
With advantage, as you are a druid of the Grove.
Thank you. Because my intelligence isn't great.
Oh!
I've never heard of that plan. Really.
Three Flower says, "Oh, that is understandable. It is only told to the most secretive of druids here.
Did you say I have a big mouth?" She, like, kind of turns red and, like, looks kind of pissy.
"Oh, no, of course not. It's just, it's all about the rank, you see. He immediately turns to Ranger Truffle and Taurus, deflecting, and says, "Oh, could I trust you two to keep a secret?"
Me?
You can always trust me, Three Flower.
It is of serious import. Not many know about this, and not many should."
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't see a reason why not.
You see, we here at the Springarden, we have a sacred flower to this grove called the Moonglow plant. It is in limited supply. It is very hard to grow, and we've only managed to cultivate a few in our grove. It is a Fey plant. It is said to have powerful healing properties under the right circumstances, so perhaps this would be able to help old Pyrax, and you would be able to join me and assist in getting the plants. Three Flower, the three of you give me insight checks, please.
I was gonna say, they sound very nervous.
And you too as well, Blah, if you want to give me an insight.
Oh, you mean me?
Yep. All three. 9, okay.
You pissed in
Yeah.
anything.
a 14 Truffle, there's definitely nervousness behind his voice. There's most likely something he is not saying about this journey to the plants, or about the plants in general. Taurus, you get the same thing. There's definitely something he's not saying, either about the journey or about what the plants entail or what the cultivating entails. But a part of it is also he is beet red and desperately avoiding eye contact with the sister druid. That is also part of his nervousness. He's desperately avoiding contact with the fairy.
Oh no, I feel like this... Did you, like, store it on top of a mountain? I can't imagine it's easy to climb up.
Ranger truffle. I bet it's poisonous. I bet the Reflower is trying to kill this guy.
Oh no, I would never.
I would narrow his eyes.
I would never do such a thing. How dare you accuse me of wanting to poison Dio Pyrax? It's just that, well, you see, the plants have a guardian, and even us druids aren't welcome to the guardian. So we will have to most likely appease it some way, and it is not the most friendly guardian.
Do you like food?
I'm not sure.
Like at all?
Well,
It does it have a stomach? Because then it probably likes food.
he's like bouncing back and forth, like he's very obviously, and this doesn't even require insight. He's very obviously like wanting to tell you, but also not wanting to tell you at the same time. Blahan, despite not knowing about the plants, would you like to give me a history check, please? You, I mean, obviously being a member of the Druid Circle, you've definitely heard speak or maybe whispers from more of the elder members about this secret grove. And the rumors, you've most certainly heard rumors of a guardian of the plants. You don't know what the plants are, but you've certainly heard rumor of a... Maybe you haven't heard rumor that there's a guardian of the plants, but you've certainly heard that there's a guardian of the grove. You're not exactly sure what it is, but you know that Three Flower, he's not, I guess, yeah, he's not lying. You know that there is talk about a guardian. You don't know what it is, but you know it's there. And still kind of bouncing back and forth, Three Flower says, all I know is it's when we go to take a plant, it will most likely get angry at us, and we're going to have to appease it somehow. And that's why I ask you all to come with me. It is easier to do it in a group than alone.
Wait, we can't ask permission? We just have to say sorry?
Well, I'm not entirely sure if that will work. Especially in late times, you see, with so few flowers, I'm sure the guardian is going to be rather protective.
Can it be reasoned with? Or is it just single track mind?
I'm gonna roll something for Three Flower. I'm gonna give him...
Well, I guess more important question, have you met him?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him an intelligence check. He got a 9. You see he's very, bouncing back and forth, kind of still nervous about this whole ordeal. Most likely because, he does want to save his brother Pyrax. It's less nervousness about the situation actually going there, and more, he seems to just be an all-over-the-place guy in general, while he's talking to you, he does occasionally pull like a Radagast from Lord of the Rings and puffs from his pipe to like calm himself down. And he goes, "Oh yes, I've seen the Guardian before. I've been in parties that have been there. I'm not entirely sure he'd be able to be reasoned with, but we could certainly try."
Good enough for me.
Has anyone else ever like interrupted the Guardian? How have other people appeased it? It's not by a sacrifice. You're not going to sacrifice us.
Oh no, of course not. What is with all these accusations?
I don't know. Just we're adventurers. We got to be wary. Okay, that's what I've always been taught.
The last.
Goes, and also you don't seem very trusting. So, they who cast the first stone are guilty of something. It's like glares a little more.
Well, I am sorry, but it is kind of difficult to speak without nerves when you are staring directly at me.
Oh, you get stage fright too? I get it really bad.
The last group I remember that went to go gather a flower, it was... Oh my, years and years ago. You see, one of our fellow druids fell really ill, and we fed them a poultice of the moonglow flower, and it was the last flower we actually took before now, and the Guardian was rather agitated, and they appeased it by beating it back into the waters from which it rose from.
Wait, appease means put it to sleep?
Is certainly one way. And most likely how we might have to deal with it now.
Oh, well, I guess we're burning time then.
Okay. That's the best we can do.
Well, a look over at the fairy, Blaha. Are you good at appeasing animals gently?
I mean, I usually have a calming nature around the Skitters type.
That is a lie. As three flowers skitter. Three flower just kind of like sinks into his hat a little bit.
Well, it seems like everyone's on board. Which way's the pool it grows from?
Oh, okay, yes. Follow me. And he begins walking down this set of stairs, this set of winding stairs.
Before I go, I'm gonna go back to the druids. I'm gonna announce to them very loudly, Taurus and his adventuring group will go and save... What's the guy's name again?
Pyrax.
Pyrax. We'll go and save Pyrax. There's no need to worry. We will handle everything. Once again, Taurus and his ranger group and his friend Ranger Truffle and the adventuring group will handle the situation. Don't worry.
Give me a flat charisma.
Okay. I'm just gonna do a saving throw. I don't have proficiency. Oh!
Wow. You hear a few voices from below the stairs from the commoners begin saying, "Save Pyrax? Is someone in trouble?" But it seems that talk seems to die down before it full-blown erupts into accusatory tones.
Oh, whoopsie. Okay. Let's go, Ranger Truffle.
I was thinking about saying something to them, but I think that's even better. You did great.
Oh.
We'll go down the stairs.
Thank you.
And Three Flower would eventually begin leading you all to a side path, and actually further down, actually further up, he leads you all the way through the Springarden and past this waterfall, and up like a hilly terrain. You get to the top of the waterfall where you notice, here if you want to move your tokens, you notice that is actually a full-blown, like, again, Springarden. You head up this mountainside, or this hillside, and it reveals a full second grove of a secondary waterfall feeding into this waterfall, and, you know, smaller waterfalls feeding into this large lakeside area. And you begin walking, and you see...
Oh, we're over. Okay.
You see, you see animals of all kind, mostly, everyone can give me a nature check, actually. Nature or survival.
Nature is intelligent? Why?
So Truffle, Blaha, Taurus, you're probably just taking in the sights, you know. Maybe this is the first time you've seen something as spectacular as this.
Come on, Taurus, what are you doing?
But Truffle, Blaha, you guys take in the surroundings, and you're able to notice that there's a lot of interesting creatures here. You see, for better terms, you see a lot of Fey-like creatures. There are small, fairy-like, you know, beings fluttering around this glowing glade of water. You see, just like Three Flower's own pet Moo, you see squirrels with a fur color purple with 3 eyes and antlers. You see, it is about midday, Blaha, maybe like 5-ish, but in the Springarden, it is still a beautifully sunny day. But you see squirrels with 3 eyes. You see what would better be known as jackalopes. Rabbits with antlers. You see beautiful white stags. You see, alongside these fey creatures, you also see, in terms of D&D descriptions, you see things like, monstrosities, in the sense that you see things like griffins, or, the occasional owlbear, all coinciding at this glade. And you begin, walking past it, unless there's anything, while we aren't on a map, if there's anything you would like to possibly look at or view in the glade, you are more than welcome to. As Three Flowers walking you through.
I don't think I got anything in particular. I'm just admiring.
Yeah, same. It's very, very pretty here. We'll just follow the druid.
Okay, you begin following the druid until eventually becoming on another waterfall. And Three Flower takes even Blaha aside, and despite your promises to keep this secret, he looks at all of you almost with like this dead set, serious tone and says, "Now, this is really serious to the Springarden Druids. You must all swear upon your lives that you would not tell another soul our secret here. These are very rare plants, and they are very important to the Grove, and I need your absolute words upon your lives that you will not tell anyone the secret of Springarden."
Upon my life.
And that includes
Those are-
fellow druids, sister, who are not in the know, as he looks at Blaha.
He rolls her eyes and whispers, "Haven't I done enough in Druidic?"
He responds, and I imagine Druidic as this almost animalistic type speech, at least within the world of Delicious and Deadly. You aren't exactly, speaking in common language, as it sounds more like, you respond with maybe the sound of something that a lying cat would make. He responds with, like, the mimicry of a chirping bird. It is very animalistic in the sense that you are making animal sounds to those who cannot understand Druidic.
Pretty much.
And he would respond with, "Yes, you have. You've been taking great care of Pyrex, but this is a very serious secret that we must keep to ourselves as Druids of the Grove."
Assuming that interaction went good, because I don't believe I speak Druidic. Truffle does look excited, raise a hand and say, Ranger's honor. We're all in agreement. Let's go.
Okay, he spoke for me.
Oh, I would like to hear it from your words, please, Taurus.
Upon your life is very big, Three Flower. You gotta understand that.
He kind of walks over to you and motions for you to, like, bring your ear down. And he says, "If it makes you feel better, it's not like we're going to hunt you down. We just need the affirmation that you won't tell anyone. This is a very serious thing within the Grove. Please."
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
your word for us. It's really easy not to break.
I swear. I, Taurus, swear on my life, Three Flower, that I will not tell another soul about this secret, sacred place. And I truly mean that.
In, like, Druidic, it almost sounds like a purring cat. She, says something along the lines of, like, these outsiders usually respond well to gifts.
And Three Flower responds with, "Yes, well, if they help us out, there will be plenty of gifts for them. Now, sister, do you swear?"
Yeah, you have my word.
Okay.
She actually says that in common, kind of like as an insult.
And so you all head through this waterfall, being splashed with water in the process, as you enter this grove, this place that is built upon mighty pillars within this cave, masses of giant lily pads sprinkled the beautifully glowing water within the grove, as you are now here.
What the heck, man? What is this?
You druids are good architects. I like your stonework.
Oh yes, this is all that you see here has been worked with the assistance of the Fey, which is why we tend to keep it so secret. Those Fey are secretive types themselves. Now, if you'd follow me to the ends of the water, you do see at the end of this walkway 6 blue flowers that almost glow as if they are shining with the moonlight itself. And he begins walking.
Capri Sun is gonna flutter out of my backpack and just stay on my shoulder for a little bit.
All right.
Oh, I don't think I've met Capri Sun. That's so cute.
I like that.
No, you.
I like that we've committed to Capri Sun after I joked once about that. The creature's...
Is it like a dragonfly?
For reference, the creature is called a Capri Soul. Taurus, if you would like to describe what it looks like.
Well, it resembles mostly like a hummingbird, except the wings itself doesn't have like any feathers or anything. It's just skeletal wings that makes it look like it should not be flying, but somehow it still is. And the head also doesn't have any flesh or anything. It's just like an empty skull, but you can see behind the eyes there's a faint glowing blue little light in there that would get stronger and stronger as it like pokes people and like just eats its food. But then the rest of the body is just straight up just a hummingbird, just a normal hummingbird, a blue hummingbird with just some undead features to it. And yeah, it'll over to Ranger Truffle and just flutter around him a little bit.
Hey there, little one. Truffle will immediately become extremely distracted.
And it'll just like land on your head and stay there as you walk forward.
What does it feel like to someone? Does it feel like just a bird has landed on its head, on Truffle's head, or because of its other, odd like nature, does it feel weird to have Capri Sun on Truffle's head?
You might act like it physically feels fine, but like you might get like a little bit of an unnerving like sense from it.
Like maybe like a chill.
Yeah. You might like always just have in the back of your head like, is this thing just gonna like bite me 1 second? Like, you're never gonna feel totally at ease with it on you.
It's kind of like when you have a crow on your shoulder, how you're never supposed to look at it because it'll rip your eye out.
I had no idea that it was a thing, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's something that it would feel like.
Yeah, if you ever have a raven or a crow land on your shoulder or something, never look at it because it'll go for your eye.
Birds are great.
Good to know.
Good to know. Hey, you know what? When we play Delicious and Deadly, we're here to learn about monsters and learn about animals, and that's your survival tip for ravens and crows, folks. Don't look them in the eye if they're on your shoulder. You've learned it here first.
Yes, sir.
So, Ranger Truffle, you have this undead sort of hummingbird perched atop your head. Are you just like in place, like in awe with this creature, or what is the reaction as the others walk ahead of you?
Truffle's ears have kind of drooped down like a dog, and he's just kind of like staring up at it, just not moving, as still as he can be.
Capri Sun, come on, come over here. Stop annoying him.
Oh, yeah, right. We have a job.
And it'll come back onto my shoulder.
Everyone, roll me perception checks, please.
Yeah, Truffle was not quiet.
Man, I'm rolling so hot tonight.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
I imagine I'm just really distracted by this abomination.
Taurus and Truffle, however, as you guys get closer to the edge of the pool of the water and see these plants, you can hear a sound almost emanating from them. As you get closer, this like shimmering sound that the plants give off.
Ooh.
which I think, unfortunately for Mr. Taurus, due to your audio, you probably do not hear it.
I'm not gonna be able to. Did you actually play a sound effect
There
or game?
is, I think for the others, you should be able to hear it.
Yeah, I hear it. I even though me and him should probably switch places, because I'm not opposed to hear it.
Eventually, your ears do tune to it, Blaha. You just don't hear the sound immediately because you're so hyper-focused on this abomination. But as you get closer, you do hear the shimmer from these plants. And Three Flower says, "Well, these are the moon glow plants. Everyone just keep an eye out for the Guardian. I'm going to go to the water's edge and harvest one."
Again, what color is it? How big is it?
Oh, I guess now is a good time to tell you. I'm sorry. What is the best adjective to give it? I'm not sure if there is one. It's a water elemental.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Blaha is going to be like Three Flower. All grudges aside, you might want to think about how we normally have to, I don't know, how the stories go, beat it back into the water. I would be really careful at the water's edge.
Oh, I'll be careful. I hope. And you see him very carefully. Actually, maybe, Taurus, you're a big man. Would you mind holding me while I reach out for this flower, please?
Of course, Three Flower. I gotcha.
Thank you. And you're able to grab onto him as he reaches out towards this shimmering, glowing blue plant. And you notice it is almost like a lily pad itself. It doesn't seem to actually be it doesn't seem to be actually like growing on anything but the water itself. To mark you with that. And Three Flower reaches out, but it still feels like plant. It still feels like it is growing in the water. You do see through this crystal clear water there are roots underneath the plant that seem to simply float in the water itself. It is a very interesting plant. And he plucks it from the water and says, "Okay, perhaps we should go now and hurry up." But as he turns around, you all see at the edge, ahead of the platform, water begin to bubble as bursting from the water is this globule of living water as the Guardian arises, and we shall roll us some initiative against the Guardian of the Grove.
Oh, he's small. He's a little guy. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy. Throw Three Flower onto the initiative. And then the elemental. Ranger Truffle, what is your dexterity modifier, please and thank you?
+4.
+4. You go first.
Okay. Mr. Ranger will take a defensive position up front, pulling out his Hality. And he'll begin whirling it defensively. Just something I haven't done yet. I need to make an ability check, I think? Oh, I'm blanking. I think it's an acrobatics ability check to wield this weapon correctly, or else I cut myself with it.
Which weapon is it?
It's a hality. It's like a two-ended staff. A pointy staff.
Yeah.
You can like spin it to protect yourself.
Does it say within the weapon description?
No, because I had to make it myself. I just know it's either a +1 or a +2 AC. I just forget what the ability check is. I'm pretty sure it's acrobatics.
I know the Twin Blade sounds like it has the same feature, and I know that's acrobatics.
Then that's what it is. Yep. All right. So I'll attempt to spin it. And essentially tell the mass of water, it's all right. Just stay over there. And I will hold an attack action to slap it if it gets close.
Okay. Does whirling your weapon, it gives you an AC boost? What was it?
Yeah, it gives me a 1 AC boost because of how I rolled.
Okay.
My AC went up to 16.
Okay. The Guardian with quick speed is going to rush through the water to right here, so it does get in range.
Very quickly, just bap it.
Just bap.
No.
Bad water globule.
Bad. 16 to hit.
That hits.
Yeah, sure.
And you
Yeah,
cut
10 splashing with it.
You cut through the water, and as you cut through it, you do note that the water, just as quickly as you cut through it, reforms almost in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing as much as you would like. And as the Guardian of the Waters rushes forward, it is going to make these almost fists made of living water and slam once into 3 Flower, the holder of the flower, and once into Ranger Truffle. So the attack against 3 Flower is going to be a miss, and the attack against Ranger Truffle is going to be a 20. You get slammed with this bout of water for 7 bludgeoning damage. As you are essentially socked in the face by water, but as it hits you, it also, like, splashes over you, like, as if you were just hit in the face by a water balloon. You feel refreshed, but you also feel hurt. It is an odd, it is an odd sensation. You just got hit by, like, Poland Springs water, and it hurt, but it was refreshing equally at the same time.
Truffle spends the rest of until the start of his turn coughing water out of his lungs.
Blaha, you are up. You are 30 feet in the air, and the water elemental just rushed forward.
Alright. So Blaha is gonna ready her short bow, which is her star map. It's along her bow is like a star map, essentially, like little constellations or whatever, so that when she raises it to, like, say, like, a horizon, she can, use it as a star map. And she is going to, like, aim it at the water elemental and, like, kind of mock the form of drawing a bow. Using her bow as her focus, she is going to essentially cast Ice Knife, but I'm going to kind of make it look a little bit more like, an arrow. Does a 21 hit?
A 21 does hit. Are you throwing the Ice Knife directly on the elemental or behind the elemental? Because it has an AoE effect, doesn't it?
Does it? I kind of forget. I don't use Ice Knife that often. I think
that's
it might.
not working.
I think that's because of the way that's set up. It's kind of dumb.
Are you able to see the spell description on your sheet?
Yeah, I was just
There we
gonna
go.
drop it.
Hit or miss the shard then explodes. Target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. So do you want to throw it behind? It won't be a direct hit, and it'll be hit with the explosion instead. But that would also stop Truffle and Three Flower from being hit.
How good is everyone's dexterity? I mean, that's kind of meta. I already said that I was going to aim at it. I'm not going to take that back.
Okay.
I'm sorry, everyone.
So a 21 does hit for 3. So on a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. So 3 piercing damage. And this is a magical attack. And then Ranger Truffle, Three Flower, and the Elemental must make dexterity saving throws. So I will do Three Flower. He got a 17, and then the Elemental will be a 21.
Fucking damn it, elemental. Okay. And then, as a bonus action...
Real quick, so it seems that as the explosion, the ice knife does pierce the elemental and cuts through it, and as it explodes, the elemental basically like forms back into this little glade, dodging the ice. Three Flower also takes quick shelter and just guards himself, maybe even hiding behind the flower itself, but Ranger Truffle, the brunt of the ice cuts out, striking into you, and you are going to take 9 cold damage.
OOC, I'm sorry. Right. Bonus action, I'm going to use one of my wild shapes and take my starry form. Essentially, I'm going to go with Archer. So kind of like around, like my pose takes the constellation of an archer appears on me when I activate this form, and as a bonus action on my subsequent turns while it lasts, you can make a ranged spell attack, hurling a luminous arrow that targets one creature within 60 feet of you. On a hit, the attack deals radiant damage equal to 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier.
Alright, so when you activate this form, so you're able to do it now as you have activated it.
Right, so that would be a d20 plus 5. That would hit, right?
That would indeed hit.
Right. So 1d8 plus my modifier. So 3 plus 3 is 6 damage.
6 damage. You blast into this elemental. It takes the damage, and you send a good chunk of water flying out from its globulous form that it has taken. Is that all for Blaha?
Yes, of course.
Mr. Taurus.
Okay, am I still like holding on to Three Flower? Like, if I let go of Three Flower right now, does he fall in the water?
No, he was holding you. He asked you to hold on to him for like safety reasons, but he is on the edge of the platform.
Okay, does he have the flower?
He is holding the flower in his hands.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna like pull him back so he doesn't fall off the edge when I let go of him.
Sure, we can say you can spend like 10 points of your movement to put him in the square adjacent to you.
Sure. And then I'll pull out my heavy crossbow and notch one of my arrows in it that has a bunch of little holes, shoot it right at the elemental.
Ooh.
Boom. Boom shakalaka.
That hits.
Yes, sir. And because of all those little holes, it's going to make a little whistling noise that commands my Capri Sun as a bonus action to fly over to here and try to attack it with its sword. Do you do flanking?
I do flanking. Yes, you may.
Sweet. Then I'd like to come here and it's going to attack with its soul drain for lame ass damage.
So, I'm going to rule this. Animal companions are not going to get crit cards.
That's so fair. Yeah.
Player characters
That's
will,
lovely.
animal companions will not.
Sweet. Are we doing?
We are doing
crits?
brutal criticals, which would be you take the max of the dice, and then you add it to what you rolled.
Okay, so that's 12 plus 4, so 16 damage. That's not bad.
16 damage. The Capri Soul gains temporary hit points equal to the half the necrotic damage dealt, so half of 16 and temp HP.
8.
The target must succeed on DC 11 con save, or its hit point maximum is reduced by an equal amount. I will roll. It got a 9, so its hit point maximum is reduced by 18.
16.
16.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The water elemental, the guardian, is looking hurt. You do note that as your bolt flew through it, it did cut through the water, but again, the water seemingly just reformed, as if not exactly affected by the bolt. But as Capri Sun flies in and jabs into it, that seems to have most definitely hurt the elemental.
Mm-hmm. Capri Sun, my man.
Would you like to move at all or stay where you are?
Yeah, I'll move back here.
Alrighty. 3 flower is going to... He's meant to have Cure Wounds prepared, which I believe is, what, a D4 plus your modifier?
Cure Wounds?
A D8.
D8.
So...
Cure Wounds is 1d8 plus your modifier.
Okay. 3 flower, seeing you're in trouble, Ranger does run up to you and puts his hand... Why are you off kilter, buddy? Puts his hand on your back and says... oh, God, it's the flower. And says, you'll be okay, friend. And he is going to cast Cure Wounds on you, which is a D8 plus modifier. Let me see here. Okay. He's going to heal you for 9 hit points.
That was flawless.
And then he is going to back up right here. And it is your turn, Ranger.
Alright, well, I'll start the beginning of my turn. Second winding. Taking a second to take a deep breath and get some health back. It's a D10 plus my fighter level, I think. Yeah. A crisp 3 hit points.
Hey, at these levels, it counts.
It does count. Every hit point counts. I was at 3, so doubling my health without the cure. And I'll disengage. Kind of like showing the howdy again.
Okay.
Stay back! He tries to say threateningly, but is still bleeding a little. And will probably actually walk behind the group.
Are you going to be spinning it defensively still?
No, that takes a bonus action.
Okay.
Use it.
So that is your turn
Take
then?
a breather. That is my whole turn.
Alright, the Guardian is actually going to, almost with like this gush of water, propel itself onto the platform as water begins spilling from it. And it's going to come right here. And same ordeal as before, it's going to try and slam into 3 flower, which misses. 3 flower's lucky, perhaps it is some effect from the plant itself, protecting 3-flower, as it then goes to slam into Taurus with a 6. It is seemingly very weakened and is desperately trying to defend the plant, but its swings just do not connect as we go to Blaha.
Go Blaha.
I have 2 questions. How far away am I from the ceiling?
It rises quite a space. This is a very large cave. It, at the edge of a waterfall. It goes up most definitely at most 100 feet high.
Holy sh... Oh, I didn't know we were fighting that.
Alright, I'm going to move another 30 feet up. So
Alright.
that would put me at 60 feet. My second question can wait until my next turn, or the turn after that. So I am going to shoot at it with my bow since I don't want to ice knife it right now.
Alrighty.
Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does strike the elemental.
7 piercing.
Alright.
And then as a bonus, like a second like starry like ghost arrow follows after my first arrow. So I'm going to roll ice knife only because that would be the thing. Like it would be the same type of like attack, right? Does a 12 hit?
Unfortunately, a 12 would miss.
Alright.
Which, actually, for your miss, now that I've remembered, you do get a luck point. And
Very sweet.
Yes, sir.
for an explanation for our lovely guest player, luck points can be spent on attack rolls and saving throws, meaning that they can be spent 1 for 1, kind of like style points, which you are more familiar with. If you roll an attack, but before I say that it missed, so say your next turn, if you rolled a 12, you can spend that 1 style point to make it a 13 instead.
Got ya. Okay.
Alright, so fly up, attack with the bow, and miss with the magical arrow. Is that your turn?
Yes, that is my turn.
Taurus.
Okay, Mr. DM.
That's me.
Would you allow me to forego my main attack to let Capri Sun make 2 attacks?
What class are you again?
A tamer.
You are indeed a tamer.
And it usually just takes a bonus action to make Capri Sun take 1 attack.
I will allow it up until you ever get 2 attacks.
Got you. I don't think I'll ever get 2 attacks. But I got you.
So I will allow it for now.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to... So instead of using my arrows to whistle the commands, I'm just going to do it with my mouth. I'm going to just whistle, and Capri Sun's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And he's going to come over and do a little bit of soul sucking. Just get right into the back of this thing and, like, do nothing, okay? Come on, buddy.
Yeah, unfortunately that first attack, which would be the one with advantage, and a 10 does miss, and I assume the second one's your bonus?
Yeah.
The bonus action does hit for 1 and 1.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's big damage right there.
And it fails its save.
Minus one HP.
Yep. Alright, is that all?
Yes, sir.
Alright, Three Flower holding the flower under his arm, takes out his quarterstaff in the other and tries to bonk the elemental on the head. And misses. And he kind of goes, "Oh!" as the elemental looks directly at him now. Ranger Truffle.
It looks like it's not gonna leave us alone. It does have to be subdued a bit, yes?
Yes. Actually, you can give me an insight if you wish.
Does it take an action to do so?
I will say, when in combat, I'm going to say, if and this is an option, you don't have to do it, but I think from here, I will rule, if you wish to do a skill check in combat, it will take a bonus action.
Sure, yeah, I'll do that. 16.
16. Despite not having any, physical form of a humanoid, the elemental is dripping a mass amount of water. While you don't think you're going to kill it, as it has been stated this is the Guardian for some time and it has been dealt with before, it does look like it is yearning for its pool once more.
Okay. Yes. Trump will take a step forward and bap it.
Okay.
Try to coerce it. 23 to hit.
23 to hit. You bap it, and as you bap it, the elemental immediately splashes, covering everyone in the vicinity, and dissipates as its remaining water, you see, begins pooling on the ground and begins pouring back into the glade as it has been vanquished.
Ooh.
He'll just look at Three Flower. Did I hit it too hard?
No. If you look, and he points out the water flowing on the ground that does seem to be reforming back into the glade. Oh, I think our guardian will be will be rather okay. He might have bruised his ego, but he'll be okay.
Should we grab another for next time so we don't have to go through this whole ordeal again, or?
One should be okay. We don't want to overuse the flowers. This should last us quite some time.
That felt really easy. But I will not complain.
Well, I guess we get out of here, right?
Oh,
Let's
yes.
go heal the man.
Yes, Pyrax needs our help. Oh, Blaha, are you going to come down from there? He looks up at you and just shouts.
Yeah, she flies back down. A little sad, like she was gonna do something and it didn't pan out.
Okay, well then, let us get back to the Springarden. And you begin your trek back once more through the glade, and you make it back to the temple where the folks seem to have calmed down. And I will put you all back onto the Springarden map. You are up here. You are taken to a room within this temple. The temple seems to be almost like this overgrown temple. There are potted plants, there's vines here and there. It seems very well kept, however. Birds fluttering through. It seems to be a very natural temple. And you come into this small room that has this lizard folk who seems... Originally, you would have mistaken him for a black dragonborn or a green dragonborn due to how his skin is charred. Literally charred and burnt to a crisp from its attack. But no, underneath it is a green lizard folk. And Three Flower, with help from his sister Druid, begin to... You watch as they take parts of the plant and crush it up into this like almost mushy poultice. You notice that 1.3 Flower himself actually chews on it and spits it back into the bowl, and mushes it up and begins to rub it all over the burns of Pyrax. And this is a healing ritual that takes maybe 5 or so minutes. It takes a decent amount of time, whether you stay in the room and watch or you wait outside. Eventually, however, the two druids do leave the room, and 3 Flower says, "Well, we have done what we can for Pyrax. Now it is up to him to heal. The flower should enhance his healing capabilities, but the rest is up to his willpower. I do thank you all for helping. Unfortunately, this is not all the help that I would ask of you, but for now it does put an ease at my mind that Pyrax is hopefully healing and will see better days. And you as well, Sister Blaha. Thank you. Thank you all."
Of course, 3 Flower. Just remember what we did, and remember the name Taurus.
Of course. You are more than welcome to go back to your friends in the main affair. Discuss with them before I will come find you. I have more to discuss with you, but if you do not mind, I would like to spend time with Pyrax. Perhaps Sister Blaha can accompany you in my stead.
Of course.
And he leaves the room, or he enters the room again and closes the door, leaving the 3 of you to make your way back to the front of the temple, which is where we shall call our session for tonight of Delicious and Deadly, as the party have undertaken a small little side quest to help a druid in pain, which we will see what comes of dear old Pyrax next time on Delicious and Deadly. But for now, everyone, let us say our goodbyes, shall we?
Bye, YouTube!
I
Farewell, and see you all next time on Delicious and Deadly.